Okay, well that was a new neat feature that it just started recording without me pushing a button. Um, so I'm out here working on the fish room, and I've got that tank there cleaned out. I replanted some of the new plants in it. It has no fish in it right now, but apparently has snails in it. Some Malaysian trumpet snails. I don't hate them. Um, so I'm going to clean out this tank down here. Let's see if I can get you where you can see it. This is one of the bottom tanks, so we're going way down low. This tank down here, it has some Scyphia multipunctata and some, that guy right there is a Tiger Limia. So it's got Tiger Limias and Scyphia multipunctatas. And we're going to do that tank back there. All right, so the first thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to get a tub that I can put things in, plants and gunk and stuff pretty much. And I need a specimen container. We'll get a little water in the specimen container so that we can dip some fish out. And that means we'll need a net. One benefit to having everything everywhere and no organization in the fish room is there's nets here, there's nets there. So I can find nets, well, not when I need them, but I can find nets all over the fish room within a few feet of wherever I am. So in this tank, I've got guppy grass, the naha grass, and I have a love-hate relationship with naha grass because it holds duckweed. It also holds, as you can see here, hair algae. So that's the hate part of it. The love part of it is it's great for breeding. The fry love hiding in that stuff. And when I get a tank that guppy grass takes off in, it takes off in it, which can be good. And then it can be bad because it can overtake the tank. Overtake the tank. That sure didn't sound like I said that the first time. So I've pulled some of this, I think it's Val. I'm not good with plants. Let me see if I can find it. Find a piece of it. So this stuff here, maybe sage. I get plants, I put them in there, I try them to see if they will survive. If they do, then I try to find more of that plant or try to propagate it. So I think I got the algae off this. Let's move it to that other tank. So in this tank right now, just for fun, I've got these little trays up here. Working with an idea. The idea for like the fry breeder tray things that will have air lines and water lines, all that going into here and then overflow into the main tank. And I don't know if I'll use it for fry or if I'll use it more for like population segregation. Because I know it's not a quarantine because the water's traveling through, but it could be like if this fish just needs some time alone, it can go up there. My substrate needs to be deeper in this tank, but for right now, it is what it is. There's some algae. Let's get that out of there. I've already got some crypts in this tank that I pulled out of the tank in the house. So I've got these fancy like aquascaping tools, but I use my hands. Any of y'all like that too? You've got the tools, but you just stick your finger in it. I've got a power head on this tank that I got from the co-op. I like that it sticks really good. The suction cups are great on it. I wish it had a the things that I wish it had on it. I wish it had a little diverter so I could point the outflow more directions. I don't know that any power heads come with those anymore, but used to they all did. At least the ones I dealt with. And I also wish it had a spot for an airline. Because I'm wanting to do some things with power heads utilizing the airline port. And the ones from the co-op don't have that. I wish I could get them from the co-op. So I've got to find power heads from somebody else that has the airline port. Oh, get a bunch of this nasty hair algae out. There's a crypt. And a Nubius. Another crypt. And some of that Val, Sag stuff, whatever that is. All right, we'll move this. I got some fish in here. We'll move it to the other tank. All right, so we've got, there's a male tiger limia. There's a male skiffia, multipunctata. Looks like a female skiffia multipunctata, and maybe a juvenile male. So both of these species are live bearers, but the limias and the skiffias are not closely related at all. The limias are closely related to like mollies and guppies, and although they're live bearers, the skiffias are goodeids and aren't really related to that whole family at all. They breed completely differently. I don't remember the like fancy sciencey term for it, but it's just because they're live bearers doesn't mean they're related. Two different types of animal evolved similar ways of life independently from one another. They don't have a common ancestor. Well, I guess all animals at some point have a common ancestor, but the common ancestor between the Scyphia and the Limias are so far back that, might as well say there's not a common ancestor. We got more of this Val, Sag stuff. I don't know what this stuff is. I'm having a bit of a battle with duckweed, and I think that is a downside to using the air filtration. So, like, the sponge filters are air-powered filters, and they run off of air pumps. So they have less like water flow and circulation throughout the tank. That tank water doesn't move as much. But in a fish room this size, you go from a setup cost of like $2,000 for filtration to $400 for filtration. And electric cost, you go from like $200 a month for filtration to $4 a month just in your electric. So it's a give-take thing, I guess. I can't get all the duckweed out of it. We'll just put it all in one little clump there, and we'll come back and clean it up later because I got to get more substrate in here anyways. I don't know about you, I like these grassy type plants. A lot of people complain about them, don't like them, say they take over tanks too fast. I can handle this taking over a tank. Duckweed? No. Hair algae? No. If I could get, you know, guppy grass to take over a tank and not be riddled with hair algae and duckweed, I would be okay with that. So now I'm going to lower some water out of that tank. I took a few things to the auction since the last video. Not as much as I had planned. Getting a start on it, I got some swaps coming up, some more meetings with auctions and stuff. So I'll get those. I'll utilize those to clear out some stuff. So I'm draining the water down because I've stirred up the substrate some, and it's got murky in there. And I'm hoping that I can drain it down enough that the murkiness will settle and I can see if there's more fish in there. And I'm down past a halfway point on this 20-gallon tank. So put down to about 8 gallons. That's probably a good spot. So right now I'm using a net to scoop out as much of this duckweed as I can. And if you didn't see earlier, this is that nasty, tiny little microscopic duckweed. I think it's Wolfia. I need to turn some of it in for the horticultural award program and the couple clubs that I'm in that have that program. I might not get points on any other plant, but I can grow some duckweed. Big duckweed ball. All right. So it looks like there was 4 sponge filters in there. One of these and 3 of the double hang on the wall type. All right. That is a lot of that duckweed out of there. And the water's still too murky to tell what's what. I think I'm going to fill it and then drain it again. See if I can dilute some of the murky. So this weekend I'll probably work on moving stuff around up front, and I may film it, I may not. Moving stuff around up front to be able to get the 75 out of the way, and the water heater exhaust pipe. I gotta get up on a ladder. And as I've got a little older, I've decided ladders aren't my friend. And so I'm not looking forward to it. But the sooner I can get that done, then I get the water heater going and have warm water going to the aquariums. You know what I could do? This is a 20 high, so it's a foot wide. I've got a 10-inch net around here. I could put a 10-inch net in there and pull from the back to the front and see if I get any fish. The question is, since everything's disorganized right now, where's the 10-inch net? If all I had left was one male lemmy in here, hey, a sponge filter. I only had one male lemmy in here, they're going to have a hard time breeding. Tiger lemmies are one that I'm wanting to keep and to focus on. And the good news is I'll have opportunities to buy some more. I'm going to a meeting, at least I plan to go to a meeting within the next couple months where I've been told that some might be. And then next year, in 2026, in June, we're hosting the American Library Association convention in Lexington here at my local club. So that'll be a good opportunity there. All right. Shut the water off and I'll dip some more duckweed. Can you all see what I'm dealing with? This is the current situation with this tank. And that's why I'm, oops, wrong way. That's why I'm questioning if there's more fish in there, because I can't see fish. Can you see fish? All right, I'm gonna drain this back down again. While that's draining, I'm gonna go around and give the fish some food. I can't see the tank from where I'm at, so you all tell me when it runs out, when it runs dry. Looks like the one male was my lone survivor of the tiger limias, but I've got a reverse trio of the Scyphia multipunctata, which isn't bad. I didn't start off with many Scyphia multipunctatas. All right, so let's get up here where you can see me. So I'm going to end this video here. I don't know what of this I'll edit in and out, what I'll make of it. But I've got one tank back here cleaned up and a start, and I've got a couple tanks drained down. So it's a beginning, and a lot more to go. So stick with me, tune back in, and come along for the journey. I'm hoping next time I will be able to get the 75 moved over out of the way and start working on. I need to get that top tank out of there. I'm going to have to cut it out, I guess, because I built the rack around it, or I built the fish room up more after I put it in there, and I can't get it out with the rack like it is. So I have to cut the rack apart to get the tank out, I believe. And then I'll work on the bottom tank and make it nicer, and we'll go from there. Until next time, leave me some comments, encourage me. Tell me about your journey, your battles with being overwhelmed or redoing a fish room, and how you keep the whole hobby enjoyable. Do you find little tricks to keep it from getting old, from getting too much work? And don't forget to like, subscribe, share it out, all those things that YouTube wants you to do. And we'll see you next time.